Hi there, Stampers and Crafters, and welcome to our online class where today we're going to be watercoloring and playing with Saleabration products, and I'm also going to be playing with a little paper pumpkin. This is actually part 2 in my 2-part series. We did part 1 on Tuesday, and you don't want to miss it in case you missed these projects that we did on Tuesday. You want to pop on over to my blog. You can actually go to stampwithtami.com or just click on the resource page. I have a link to this, part 1, and you can check out that online class. Today we are going to be making these beautiful cards. These cards. They're over here. Backwards. Anyways, this is what we're going to be making today. I'm actually going to, they're all made actually the same. I'm going to show you on the Saleabration one. It is our Saleabration blog hop from our Stamp It Demonstrator group. So it's that time of the month when you get not just my online class, but you get a whole slew of amazing projects from my Stamp It Demonstrator group. And so you want to pop over to my blog immediately following this video so you can check out all the awesome projects that everybody has been sharing. And we have a special giveaway. Since it's blog hop day, we have two types of giveaways. The first one is the blog hop giveaway. This is from our Stamp It group. It's a gift from our Stamp It group. Everyone is eligible to enter. All you need to do is pop on over to my blog and leave a comment on my blog. So this is a blog comment entry with the hashtag Stamp It contest. You can enter multiple times by leaving a comment on each blog in the hop. You are eligible for entry for one comment per blog. Make sure you leave that hashtag because that is how we search for the comments. I also have a second type of giveaway. Since it's blog hop day, I have one live prize giveaway. Now this is a different entry. This one here is a video comment entry. So you need to leave a comment on this video in order to be entered to win this one. And it is the very coveted, very hard to get set that everybody wants. It's the little ladybug. She is part of Saleabration. And I'm actually going to be showing a little ladybug today. So I just thought it would be fun to do a little giveaway with that one. So make sure you leave a comment. I will draw a winner of that immediately following this live broadcast. It is a Saleabration blog hop today. So all of our projects will be revolved around Saleabration, which is that wonderful time of year when for every $50 you spend, you get free products in my online store. It's also that wonderful time of year when you just want to buy the Demonstrator kit because it's the best deal. $125 worth of products, you only pay $99. You get free shipping. But wait! During Saleabration, it gets so much better. You get a free mini paper cutter, you get a free paper assortment, you get a free stamp set of your choice of any amount, so you can get those really expensive ones, and you also get a free paper pumpkin, which is a random paper pumpkin that's in there. And I know a lot of you have already taken advantage of this, but I would say it is the best deal, hands down. So awesome. So we are going to get started here. This is the card I'm going to be making today, and then I'll show you some other cards that I did creating the exact same techniques. Saleabration, we have a catalog. I have all of this information on my blog. Just click on the link in this video's description or go to stampwithtami.com. We have a second release of new products coming out on Tuesday, March 3rd, this Tuesday. So stay tuned to the end. I'm going to show you all of those projects after I'm done. So without further ado, let's get started. I am going to be doing watercoloring today. I love watercoloring. I'm not, by any means, I'm not an expert at it, but I love doing it. And the thing about watercoloring is there are no mistakes. Like, it doesn't matter if you're outside the lines. It's very soft and soothing. I love it. And this one's kind of fun because we're doing some white embossing with it too, which really gives it a cool look. All right, so I have the free PDF on my resource page. Click on the link in the video's description or go to stampwithtami.com. It has the measurements here, and it also has a list of everything that I used to create this card and the other cards that I'm going to be sharing with you. I do that with every of my online classes, so it makes it easy. All of the information is on the resource page. Also, there is a link there to get you back to this video if you're doing this later. It's right here. Or you can use a smart code, goes to the same link. If you have a smartphone, you can zap that, either one. But I want to make it easy for you to find stuff later when you want to make this, after you buy it and you want to make it, right? All right, so I'm going to show you first the products that we're using today. So I'm going to be using some watercolor paper. All of these products, by the way, are available in my online store. But this is the really cool thing. This is brand new, second release. So I'm going to show you more second release at the end. But this one is so very vellum that I'm going to be using on the background of the card. And it's just beautiful. It actually comes in 3 different colors. It's fun, and I just I thought it went perfectly with this card. So the first thing we're going to do here is heat embossing, which is another one of my favorite things. It's just one of those days. These are a few of my favorite things. All right, so we're going to be using some Versamark ink, and I'm using the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, which is available free right now until the end of March during Saleabration. So I'm using the birthday cake from that stamp set. And also, if you were unaware of this, you can purchase dies until the end of March or until they sell out that match that stamp set that I used on part 1. So, there's more projects with the stamp set on part 1. So I'm inking this up. And you know what? A few of you are probably going, no, wait. You forgot the most important step. And you're right, I did. I'm glad I just remembered it before I stamped. The emboss buddy. This is the if you forget it, you will regret it step. You just want to rub that over your cardstock before you emboss, just because it keeps the static down. And it keeps emboss powder from sticking to places on your cardstock that you don't want it to stick. So let's go ahead and stamp that. I'm just going to stamp it right in the center of this piece of watercolor paper. I know, I love the font on this too, Adrian. Very beautiful. Hi, Karen, just watching while you're on a road trip. That's fun. Now, because I was using this in black ink and didn't do an awesome job coloring it off, I can actually see, cleaning it off, I mean, I can actually see that on there, which is cool because otherwise you can't see Versamark. If it's not dirty, you can't see it. But we're going to cover it with white emboss powder, which is also going to make it hard to see. I don't think my dirty stamp job there is going to help. Once I put the white emboss powder on, I'm still not going to be able to see it. But hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. Can you see the outline in there? The white on the watercolor paper, or white on white embossing, when you color it, it just looks so pretty. So I'm just pouring the excess right back into the jar. As these jars last forever. And we are going to take our heat tool and melt that powder. Hopefully you guys can see this. I know white on white is pretty hard to see, but I'm trying to get a good angle in there so you guys can see it melt. Embossing really is one of the coolest things. It's one of the first things I did when I started, and it never gets old. Hopefully you guys can see that. So to make sure all the powder is melted, and when it's melted, it's easy to see because, can you see that on there a little bit? It's glossy when it's melted. So our birthday cake is embossed on there. It really is on there, just in case you can't see it. Just trust me, it's on there. I'm going to bring in some grid paper. Normally I actually work on grid paper when I'm stamping, but when I'm down here in the studio, I don't usually have it underneath me. But we are going to be doing some watercoloring, which means we're going to make a little bit of a mess because we want to get things wet. So I'm using an aqua painter here. And I am going to take, now I've got 5 different colors here, and I'll list them off as we get started. The first one I'm going to be using here is Pool Party, and we're going to do a watercolor wash on the background. You could use any piece of plastic or surface to put these. This is an ink pad refill right here. When your ink pads get kind of light or dry up a little bit, you don't need to buy a new one. You can just buy a refill in that color, and the refills go on and on and on. But there's other techniques that you can do with these refills, such as watercoloring. So I'm just going to put one little drop of that Pool Party. I'm using a block. This is an acrylic block, but again, any plastic will do. And I've got my aqua painter. It's filled with water. It is magical, Janet says. The heat embossing is magical. And I am going to do the background, the watercolor wash first. And the reason for that is it's really hard to see the image. And I find that once I add that watercolor wash background, it makes it much easier to see. And it'll be easier for you guys to see too. So what I've done is I've wet that brush, and I've wet around around part of the image. I'm going to do it a little bit at a time here. And I'm going to and I want it to be soft. So you see I kind of took that. When I re-inked the brush, I dabbed it first before I started, so it didn't get a really harsh color when it first started here. And the fact that I wet it first will also make it really light and and kind of blend. So now I'm going to wet another area, and it helps that I still have some blue on here so I can see where it is. And then just continue around. And I don't want a straight line here. I don't want to go zzz, zzz, zzz. I want it, I'm kind of going a little zigzaggy, for lack of a better word at the moment. And that grid paper is great here because I'm just wiping off the excess. And then when we're done with our background, which I think we've got most of it on there. If you need help with the image, because like I said, until you kind of get some color in there, it's hard to see, you can always bring in the guide here or the stamp. In fact, I'll leave the stamp out there so you guys can kind of see the image, and I can use that as my guide too. So once I'm done with that color, I'm going to wipe the brush off on this grid paper that I have down here, and I'm going to get started on another color. So I'm going to start with the flowers, and I used Mango Melody for those. So I'm going to put a drop of Mango Melody, and in the center I had a pop of Poppy Parade. Popping the Poppy Parade this morning, so we're going to put a drop of that down too so we can use it. And I took and colored with the aqua painter, and I don't really want it to be a solid color. I kind of want it to be a little bit gradual with the coloring here. So that is another thing about watercoloring. Again, no mistakes, but it really looks nice when you have a gradient of color on here where it's not all, you know, like all solid exactly the same. It's Saturday morning. I'm just, the words aren't coming to me. Anywho, so we've got our flowers mostly colored, and if I missed a piece, we can always go back and catch it. We've still got everything out here. All right, so now I'm going to go do the insides. So I'm going to take the inner part of the flower here, and I'm taking that Poppy Parade, and we're just going to, I blended this a little bit too, so I'm going to wipe off that brush before I do the rest so it doesn't have all that Poppy Parade on there. And I'm going to blend some of that in with the mango that we did on the background. And then I'm going to go back and pick up some more Poppy and make that center really dark. I'm not going to blend that part. Although you see some of it was really wet and it just bled a little bit, so I'll blend what just bled. But I'm not going to blend what I just put in the center. And next up, we are going to take a little bit of Pear Pizzazz for our green. Mango Melody is a really pretty color, I agree. And that is going to be our leaves. I want the leaves to start out being light. So if you find, like I just did here with the color, that it was a little bit too dark at first, I wiped a lot of it off the brush and then came back. One thing about watercolor paper is it's very forgiving. If you are on Shimmer White or Whisper White, it is not forgiving. Well, Shimmer White might be a little bit more forgiving than Whisper White is. Whisper White is not forgiving at all. So if you put a streak down there, you can't do anything with it. Here on watercolor paper, you can kind of blend it. You still have, it's very, like even if you have a little bit, even if you put the wrong color on, you can usually lighten it up just by wetting it. And I see I missed a little bit of that flower. So if I'm switching between colors, I'm wiping this aqua painter off in between. So I did find a few pieces of this flower that I missed. And I want to blend in while that's bleeding a little bit, that Poppy is bleeding. I want to make sure that it's blended too. All right, so back to our leaves. And I do want the leaves to have a little bit of gradient color to them. So what I'm doing is I'm coloring lightly, and then I'll go back with a little bit darker and layer it on top, but not the whole thing, just a little bit. It is such a pretty stamp, and if you're jumping on, this is the Happy Birthday to You stamp set from Saleabration. There also is a die set that you can purchase that goes along with this one. Okay, so on the edges here, there are a few little buds flower buds. So I'm just going to hit those with that Mango Melody. I think I got them all. What do you think? I'm looking at the image to make sure I've got everything on there. I'm gonna, I think maybe give a little touch up here. There's no right or wrong here. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just try it. Because like you see, it just, everything comes out beautiful. And I do find with watercoloring, it comes out different every time. I'm picking up a tiny little bit of Pool Party because I see there's a little bit in here that I want to touch. I just didn't quite get it all. All right. So next up, we just have a little bit of background to do in the actual plate for the cake is on. So I'm going to take some gray granite for that. Gray granite is also the cardstock that we're going to be layering on. And I'm going to take it darker and just put it on one side. I'm going to, as if my light source were coming from here. So it's light here and darker on the other side. And then I'm going to wipe some of that off and blend it. Again, this blending, only because we're using watercolor paper. If I were doing Whisper White, you wouldn't be able to go back and blend it because it's just not as forgiving. And then I'm going to accent a little bit of, and I want to do this very lightly, so I wiped off quite a bit of that gray granite, but there are some just lines on the cake that are part of the image, so I'm just using those a little bit on top here to just give it a little bit of pop, make the cake look really kind of realistic. And I put too much on here, so again, watercolor paper forgiving. I can get this brush really wet and lift some of that up. And I want to add a little bit more green to that leaf. There. And our image is watercolored. So after we've got it watercolored, and I'm just going to move our, and I've used the, again, if you're coming in late, those are ink pad refills. You can catch the replay back at the beginning afterwards and see the rest of that. So now I'm going to layer this on the gray granite. So we use the gray granite around the bottom. I'm going to layer it on some gray granite cardstock. I'm just taking some snail adhesive for this portion. Again, those measurements are on that free PDF on the resource page for you. And then I am going to attach this to my So Very Vellum. And for those of you popping in late, this So Very Vellum is part of the second release of Saleabration. It will be available on Tuesday, unless you're a demonstrator, in which case you can purchase it until Monday. And then after that, you earn it just like customers do. Demonstrators get all the same deals that customers get, but they also get a discount. Kind of cool. Kind of fun. All right, so I'm putting that on an angle just because I liked it like that. The reason why I did this before I attached it to the card base is because this is vellum, it is translucent, and you can see through it, which means the adhesive that I put on the back of this vellum is going to show through. And so I want to make sure that I only put the adhesive behind where that panel is, so it's not going to show. So since I already had that panel lined up there, I was able to do that. And then just layer that right on our card base, and our card is complete. That's it. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful, so relaxing and fun and easy. And I did a couple other ones exactly the same. So I took the little ladybug stamp set. I know, little ladybug, right? Same colors, exact same color. The only thing that's different on the little ladybug here is that the ladybug I embossed in black. I did originally emboss her in white and she just didn't show up. So I embossed her in black and colored her with the poppy and she popped. And it's just another beautiful little ladybug stamp set. I'm also, by the way, if you're watching live, giving a little ladybug stamp set away if you leave a comment. Immediately following this, I will be doing that drawing. So that, again, same exact thing. Little Ladybug is part of Saleabration. You can get her free if you have a $300 order, $300 ghost party, combined with order combined with friends. as long as it amounts to $300, you get her free on top of your Stampin' Rewards and on top of everything else. She's just an extra bonus. And then I did one more exactly the same colors and everything, and that was with the Saleabration set. So if you caught part one, or if you catch it later, you will see these two stamps. This one is from the So Lovely February Saleabration, Paper Pumpkin kit. And this one is Happy Birthday to You from Saleabration. And I did an entire class already on these two. So this is actually part 2 of that class. And I did the same colors on here, exactly the same coloring, just used the flower. And the flowers really coordinate well together. And that one had a stamp set. Now, that Paper Pumpkin kit refill, this is the stamp set, but the Paper Pumpkin kit refill, as of this morning, there was still some left, which is rare. It's rare that they're still there. So if you really love that Lovely Day, you can get the refill in my online store. They're only $10, but only while they last. And also there is a Saleabration offering on Paper Pumpkin. If you do the prepaid in my online store, 3, 6, or 12 months, you get a free Saleabration set. And so right now we are subscribing for the March kit, which is Joys of Spring, and that comes with a free set. So you could get a free Saleabration set and a free stamp set with it. Lots of free stuff. Free on top of free on top of free, right? All right, so I wanted to show you really quickly before I show you the second release, because I'm teasing you totally. These are, so this here is made with the Paper Pumpkin kit. This was our, the Lovely Day Paper Pumpkin kit for February. So, these were my class, part 1. And so you can see this is the birthday cake here. I also used the dies on this. This here, actually this was a die cut, but then this one is the exact same flower here. Here it's embossed, and here it's colored with the Stampin' Blends. Here's another one of that flower, same flower. And then here's another one with the birthday cake. So these ones are part 1, and the part 1 offers stamping blend techniques. So we have watercoloring part 2, part 1 is stamping blends. And so these are the 3 cards, again, done exactly the same, which means I am going to tease you with new Saleabration stuff, brand new Saleabration stuff. It's available now to demonstrators. It will be available to customers on Tuesday, March 3rd. So you guys know or seen a lot of our regular offerings. The Happy Birthday to You is part of it. If you haven't seen them, click over to stampwithtami.com, and I have them all right there. You can see, and a lot of ideas. I have a lot of projects made with them. Part 2, right here, this little guy has some new stuff in it. One of the new things we just used, and that is the So Very Vellum. You can get this free starting on Tuesday with your $50 orders. It's beautiful vellum, right? It comes in the 3 colors here. And there are actually, I think there's 2 or 3. Hold on, I've got to look it up. I can't remember how many pieces, how many sheets you get of each. I've already used quite a bit. So you get two of each, the 3 colors, and you get 2 of each. So this is one of the second releases that are coming out on Tuesday that you can earn free if you place an order from Tuesday until it sells out. Can I just tell you right now, things have already started to sell out of Saleabration. This hasn't started yet, so it'll be available, but I expect the paper to sell out quickly. So if you are not sure what to get first, get the paper. If you don't know, the kerchief kits and the baker's twine from the first release have sold out. More items will be selling out, but the consumables like paper, I believe, are the first to go. So this is my prediction, and just to give you a heads up, here is some more beautiful paper that will be available in the second release of Saleabration. This is called Flowering Foils, and it is gorgeous. Rose gold. Oh my God, stop it. So pretty. So pretty. Ugh, I know, be still my heart, right? Look at this one. So fun. I'll probably do some more classes using this one, providing it's still available. I do expect this one to sell out very fast. Okay, so in addition to that, we have some stamp sets that will be released on Tuesday with the second release. So you'll be able to get this well-dressed stamp set free with a $50 order with Saleabration. It's so fun, right? And masculine. Always looking for masculine stuff for those boys. Tags in Bloom is a brand new one that will be coming out with the second release. And last but not least, this one is called Rise and Shine, and it matches those the coffee cup, teacup dies that I've already forgotten the name of, but this is also a reversible stamp. You can do front and back of the stamp. So this is a brand new style of stamp that we just started creating, which is really cool. So it kind of gives you more uses. You can make a left hand, a right hand mug, whatever you want. But all of these products that I just shared with you will be available starting Tuesday, March 3rd. And don't forget, today, this is my blog hop project. My Stamp It Demonstrator group has tons more. Take the tour, enter to win our giveaway. It's all listed on my blog. Click on the resource page here on the link in the video's description or go to stampwithtami.com. Check out the rest of these awesome Saleabration projects and all the fun that you can do with them. I have a feeling you're going to see some more sneak peeks from the second release in that blog hop too. All right, well, thank you for joining me today and have a great weekend.